Hey, today we're going to play around with CSS animations. Going to show you this SVG logo fill that then goes away and shows our little scrolling, whatever, pepper pattern that we have here. So let's get into it. We'll build it in Webflow with CSS. All right, so to get started, let's start with those pepper patterns. So I'm going to drop in a div, and I'm just going to name this my hero. And then inside of that, we'll drop another div. And this is going to get a class pepper pattern, just like so. And to make this pepper pattern, I want to add a background image. And let's choose this. I've already prepared this. It's a little SVG that's got a pepper up here and then a line. Now let's go ahead and inspect what this actually looks like. It's actually just a pepper and then two lines, and we're repeating it with the background image property so that it looks like a repeating pattern. So back in Webflow, I want to select my pepper pattern here and give it a min height of 100 viewport heights. And what else do we want to do? So we can come back down to this image, this background image. I think I want to set a custom width, something like 12% or maybe even smaller, 10%. I kind of like that. And we'll give it a background color, just full on black like that. And now we want to start animating it. And an easy way to do that is with CSS animations. So we can do this with custom properties. I'll give it an animation, and I want to give it actually, I forget what these values are, so let's look them up. So here on the MDN web docs, we can see we have a couple ways of defining the animation property. And if I come down here, it actually gives us some comments for the syntax. So we see we have duration, the easing function, the delay, and then the name. And I think we can actually get rid of the delay. Yeah, see here, we don't even use the delay, so it assumes 0 is the default. So I want to do maybe 180 seconds because this is a really slow moving thing. I want to do linear, and I want it to be a pan animation is what I'll call it. So let me just copy that. And back in Webflow, I need to insert a value, so I will. And remember we said 180 seconds, linear is good, and then we'll just call this pan. Just like that. And now we need to define that pan animation. So let's go ahead and do that. So I'll select the body and I'll drop in an embed. And in here, I'm going to open up my style tag, and then I'm going to close my style tag because I'm writing some custom CSS. So let's start by defining our pan animation. And for that, we're using the keyword @keyframes, and we're giving it the name here of pan. Then we have open and close brackets. And inside of there, we'll define our keyframes. Our first is going to be the keyframe at 0%, and the second will be the keyframe at 100%. And now we can define our properties inside of these keyframes. And the very first one we want to animate is background position from an X and Y value of 0% and 0% to an X value of 100% and a Y value of 0%. So if we save that now, then we can see this thing is already animating. And reminder, that's because we've added the animation in the custom properties down here. So let's grab this CSS code embed and bring it up there. I'm going to select it and give it a name of CSS animations, just so I don't forget what that is. And now let's go ahead and get started with filling up that pepper. So in page wrapper here, I'm going to create another div. We'll give this a name of loader, and I want my loader to be position fixed, so it shows on top of everything. We're going to cover all. We're going to set the Z index to 999, so it's definitely on top of everything. And I think that's all we need for now, but let's go ahead and drop in another embed, just like so. And now I need to get the SVG of my logo. So in Figma here, I have my logo. It's a pretty simple SVG, just a singular path. If your logo is more complex or not an SVG, then this won't work for you. So recommend having a super simple logo. Anyways, I'm going to right click and click copy paste as SVG. So now I've got this on my clipboard. Back in Webflow, I will go ahead and paste that. And I want to change this fill to be kind of an off black. So 292929 is one of my brand colors. And if I just save that, then now I get this really big pepper. So let's go ahead and delete this height attribute here, and we'll set width to 100%. Oops, not enter, and save. And we can see that's filling the whole window now. So I actually don't want the width to be fully 100%. Let's do something smaller like 40 and save that. Now the code embed needs to be in the middle. So let's go ahead. Actually, I'm going to grab the code embed here and just set it to flex like so. We'll give it a min height of 100 viewport heights, and we'll set everything to be in the center. So that's right where I want it to be. And I'm going to name this logo back. So that's good. We've got this one. And I'm going to create another one. And this one will be logo front. So I've just duplicated that. And so now I'm giving it a unique class name called logo front because I want it to be on top. So we can see logo front is actually down here. It's not on top right away. And to get it on top, we can use position absolute. And we'll set it to cover everything. And now we see that defining box is over everything. Now, where is our logo? We don't see it. If we just give it a left property, then we can see it, but it's actually just right on top, superimposed here. So this is going to actually render on top because it is below the logo back here as a sibling, but we can see that if we just change this fill to be white, just like that. save and close, and now we're seeing that one here. So let's get working on building the mask for this white chili pepper logo on top of the off black one. So I'm going to open up my code settings. So I'm going to open and close a defs tag, and this is something that doesn't get rendered, but supplies more information about our SVG. And one of the things that we can apply inside of there is a mask. Let's give it an ID of mask so that we can target it. And that mask is going to be a rectangle shape. It's going to have its own ID of mask rect. It's going to have starting X and Y coordinates. We're going to animate this Y coordinate to make it look like it's filling the background container. It's got width and height of 100%, and it has that same fill of white. Now let's go ahead and change this Y value to something like 50%, and we still won't see anything because we haven't applied the mask. So let's open that back up, and right here in our path that's inside of our SVG, we'll just go ahead and create a mask, and we'll set that equal to the URL, open close parentheses, and the ID of mask, just like so. And now if I save and get this out of the way, we can kind of see that we're starting to get that effect that we want. And so what we'll do is we'll use CSS keyframes to animate this from, I think, 100% to 0%. So let's go ahead and start it at 100% like that. And we'll save and close, and we see that we can't see it, right? So let's go ahead and define our CSS animation. So we'll start with keyframes again at keyframes keyword. We will call it slide mask this time, and we'll define our starting and stopping keyframes. Those are 0% and 100%. And we're going to be animating the Y attribute of that mask. So we're going to animate it from 100%, like we just saw, to 0%. And now if we save this, we won't see anything because we still need to apply our animation. So let's go ahead and do that. So I'm going to select the element with the ID of mask rectangle or mask rect. And then we'll go ahead and apply the animation using this syntax. So it's going to take 1 second. It's going to ease. It's going to be a 0-second delay. And we're applying the name of slide mask right here. So let's save, and now we can see that pepper starting to fill up. So that's great. Let's go ahead and finish the last part of this animation where the pepper goes off screen to the top. Okay, we'll get started here. We will go ahead and define our keyframes. We'll call this animation move loader. We have 0% and 100% again as our keyframes. We're going to animate the transform property this time from translate Y of 0% or its initial state to a translate Y of negative 100%, which is all the way to the top of the viewport and out of range. So then we'll apply this to the loader class. So we're targeting that loader class over here, and we want to apply the animation with this syntax now, a little bit longer, but we can see 0.4 seconds for the duration, ease in out for our easing function, a delay of 1 second. It's going to play it 1 time. We want to play it in the forward direction, and the animation name is move loader. Let's go ahead, save and close, and kind of hit this play button to see what we get. So it's filling up, and then it's going off the screen, filling up, going off screen. That's looking great. Now the one thing we want to do is grab our loader, and I'm just going to go ahead and give this a background color of full black, just like that. And I'm going to drag it up above the hero so that now when we play, we can't see the hero. Boom, it fills up, and then it's off the screen. Now let's go ahead and see how it looks on mobile. If I come here and then just play, you can see it's filling up, and our CSS animation is working great on mobile right here in the Webflow Designer. So if you like that intro to CSS animations, then go ahead, click like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.